Hey y'all, I'm Carolina Tony. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today the road brings me to Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, and I am standing right outside of the museum, the graveyard of the Atlantic. There are a lot of artifacts taken from the over 2,000 ships that are sunk right off the coast of North Carolina. And I'm going to take you with me. But right after this station, identification. This is the 1854 Cape Hatteras Lighthouse Fresnel lens. Side of the graveyard of the Atlantic Museum. Here is a huge bell from a gas buoy. It was found near the wreck of the Monitor. Apparently there are all types of conservation going on here. Some artifacts off of the German U-boat sunk off the North Carolina coast. U-85 sunk around 1941. This is a box that held the Enigma machine, as well as a keyboard from an Enigma machine. There was an oxygen tank and escape goggles and a battery from the Enigma machine. Enigma machine was a machine that the Germans used to send secret code. That's how they were able to sink so many boats. And we are very close to the place where Blackbeard the pirate met his fate off the coast of Ocracoke Island. Here at the Graveyards of the Deep, there are some artifacts off of his ship known as the Queen Anne's Revenge. There's a rope fragment, glass bottle, some grape shot, as well as some tinware, a pewter plate. There are some more artifacts from the Queen Anne's Revenge. And that's what it would have looked like. One of the things that makes the Outer Banks really popular is the deep sea fishing, and there are a lot of places here where you can do that. Deep sea rails, fishing off of the shore is popular too. Captain Bill and Dr. Cleveland in August of 1958, they caught the biggest prize in the Atlantic, a blue marlin, and then they let it go. And they set the pace for what we know now as catch and release. Has anyone ever heard of the term ditty bag? Well, here is a ditty bag. It contains net needles for mending the holes in nets and gauges used to measure the mesh size. And this is what ladies and youngsters did back in the day. Hand tying their nets and repairing them from their ditty bag. This is a portion of the original log from the Hatteras station, received at 11:25 from the Titanic, calling a CQD given the positions of about 300 miles southeast of Cape Race. And here is a Titanic, the board game, and it's in the Turkish language, from the Ideal Toy Company in 1976. I thought this was pretty cool. This is called the Aqua Bell diving helmet. They were sold in the late 60s, early 70s, and advertised in the Skin Diver magazine. The owner of one of these could fill this with sand, put it over their shoulders, and with a pipe connected to the top of the helmet and above the surface would allow the user to go up under their boat to inspect for barnacles. Because it withstand pressures above 35 feet. Here is a painting of the rescue men headed out to help save a ship. And here is a map of the Outer Banks all down through here. And this is where I'm located right now, right here. There are over 2,000 shipwrecks off the coast of the Outer Banks. Here is a model of the USS Monitor. It was famous because it was in a ship battle in 1862 with the CSS Virginia. The Monitor was sunk off the coast of North Carolina. And there is a picture on the wall of what it looked like, as well as here some artifacts recovered from the Monitor, a hull plate fragment, some bottles, and coal used to power its steam engines. Here is a surf boat. This is from around 1930. The life-saving stations were scattered up and down the Outer Banks. About every 7 to 8 miles there will be a life-saving station. As I've said earlier, there were hundreds and hundreds of boats, perhaps thousands, that have been sunk by accident and intentionally off the North Carolina coast, especially during World War I and World War II. On January the 31st, 1921, surfman C.P. Brady stood outside the Coast Guard Station, number 183 in Cape Hatteras, and they noticed the ship. There's a picture of it. It was the Carroll A. Deering. Anyway, to make a long story short, when they got there was no one alive on the ship. By February the 4th, they were able to get close enough to read the name board, and they found out it was the Carroll A. Deering. When it was finally boarded, it was clear that the crew had abandoned it. There was no one left in sight. The ship's wheel was shattered and the barnacle box was smashed, possibly by a sledgehammer. The navigation instruments, the charts, the logbooks, the crew's personal belongings, everything was missing, along with the two ship's boats. In the galley, it looked like that a meal was being prepared. The only thing that was alive on the ship was the cats. And there's a bell that was recovered, a washstand, and a writing desk. This is how it ended up being washed ashore. But for years, the FBI continued to follow promising clues. But to this day, it remains a mystery. The Coast Guard tried to blow it up. And in 1955, after Hurricane Connie, it refloated to the surface. And this is the original jib boom from the Carroll A. Deering from around 1919. Well, that's going to do it for our trip here to the Graveyard of the Atlantic Museum, right at the tip of Cape Hatteras in North Carolina. Real small museum, but there are a lot of neat artifacts in here, and it's a long ways out here, but well worth the drive. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to go back, give me a big old thumbs up. Be sure to tell your family and friends and share it on your social media. But until next time, y'all have a good day.